15 years, if you went back to 2007, right before the start of the Great Recession, if you just took the budget for 2007 and kept that level of funding, adjusted for inflation, we would have $7 billion more in SUNY's budget. $7 billion. Imagine the full-time faculty that could be hired, the professional staff that could be hired, in admissions, in counseling, in the EOP program, all of these things that we do to make our students successful. And our students would be able to graduate on time and not be burdened with debt. So all of this is linked together, and here we are, free of Andrew Cuomo at long last. That's a good time to applaud, by the way. And as I like to say, he has left town, and we hope he's taken austerity budgeting with him. Okay. And you know, we have fought for all these years. I've been president now for about 8 years, and every year we've gone into the legislature, we advocated for more money, we advocated for specific programs like TAP, and then also for the opportunity programs for the SUNY hospitals, and we've done okay. But with the governor's announcement of her budget this year, we saw something pretty dramatic. First, no cuts, which was the first in 11 years. But second is she embraced an idea that we had been touting since the spring, which was on the TAP Act, don't wait for 2 years, because that was the plan of last year. Well, we'll phase it out. The governor proposed what we had been demanding. Get rid of it now. And so in this year, there's funding so that there is no TAP gap going forward, and that helps. We need a down payment. What's the size of that down payment? Well, the state comptroller keeps announcing that the amount of revenue coming in keeps going up. I mean, the last report is somewhere, potentially as high as $20 billion in terms of a surplus. That's a lot of money. What we are looking for is the same thing that SUNY demanded in its budget, and that is $100 million for the campuses for operating funds. That translates for this campus to about $12 million. I know that Binghamton has had a deficit. Every campus has had one. But with that funding coming directly to campuses that's what we're demanding too. Not to system administration to distribute as they see fit, but to campuses where all of us can be engaged in the work to get it to where it's needed. That could make a huge difference in the programs where we work and where our students study. The other part of this is we are also demanding increased funding for the SUNY hospitals, because the governor didn't put anything in them. If you look at these public teaching hospitals right now, after 11 years of Cuomo, they are simply public in name only. They don't get a penny of public funding. They get no money to pay for the salaries, no money to pay for fringe benefits, no money to pay for debt servicing. And these hospitals have been on the front lines of COVID. In fact, Downstate was a COVID-only hospital. Cuomo declared that and didn't give them a penny to take care of the challenges that they faced. These hospitals have lost hundreds of millions of dollars of revenue. They need help. And so we are saying, get them the subsidy they used to have. They're serving the purposes that we need them to do. They're protecting us, and they're training the next generation of healthcare professionals. Everybody's talking about, we're short on nurses, we're short on doctors, all the technicians. Well, you have to fund medical education. And for that to happen, whether it's upstate in Syracuse, downstate in Brooklyn, or out on Long Island at Stony Brook, we need the funding to go there. And we're hearing from legislators that the message that we've been delivering, and by we, I mean, the phone calls I make, the postcards you all are signing, the meetings that you've had with Donna Lupardo's staff and with the assembly member and with the senators, they are hearing us. That's the good news. We're hearing good indications that there's going to be money, additional money in the budget. And we know the governor wants that money in there, but we can't let up. I'm desperate, because this is 1 year where the resources are there. We've got a governor who wants to do the right thing, and we have a legislature that wants to. The timing couldn't be better. So we've got to seize the moment, seize the opportunity, get the word into the legislators, do right by us, And that way we can get SUNY back on track and being the best public higher education system in the country. The governor announced that in her State of the State. It's not going to happen for free. There's got to be resources, okay? And so with that, I'm asking you, do everything you can. Sign the postcards, sign online at our website. You can do electronic letters too. If you can take the moment to call your legislator, or if you have any opportunity to engage with them, if you see them in town, talk to them. Tell them how important this is for our students, for the work we do together, for the research that goes on in SUNY, especially at big research universities like this, and then the investment in communities. Upstate, economically, has never recovered from the Great Recession. And none of the, pardon my French, but none of the bullshit economic development programs that Cuomo put in place, like the Buffalo Billion, amounted to anything. Yeah. It was a waste of money. The most direct way of getting money into upstate communities is through SUNY. Every dollar of investment by the state in SUNY translates, multiplier effect, $8 in the state economy. Incredibly important impact. We need these resources. We need to turn the narrative around. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for joining in our advocacy efforts. Every voice matters and can make a difference. And together, we could have a really, really good budget and a much better future going forward. And that's how I see this too. It's a down payment, not just in money terms. It's a down payment in hope and a down payment in the future.